Hi everyone, it's Michael Gilmour here. I'm actually the writer of the Whizzbang Chronicles, and I thought I'd do a quick video blog of what's been going on and that sort of stuff in the book. I just released the 63rd episode just the other day, and it is the final one for book one. It's been quite a journey, I must admit, writing all of these different episodes and release a few each week and so forth. And there's a whole lot of people I'd just like to thank out there who are on Firefall Tribes. You guys know who you are, GL Squared and Rogi and a whole stack of others, and Demzon and so forth, and McFeeney. Look, there's a lot of people on Firefall Tribes, and I just want to say thank you very much for being so supportive as I've been writing this, my very first novel, and I must admit I've had a lot of fun doing it. It's been quite an experience. I remember when I first started out, I didn't realize it was going to be a novel. I was just writing something for fun and with from episode to episode, as it grew and grew and grew. So it was, I actually wrote the final episode for book one when I was sick just recently, and I was sitting down there, nothing else to do. My brain wasn't really functioning any other way, and I began just writing and writing and writing, and it was, it's funny when you write something and you really care about the characters and you care what happens, and I don't want to spoil anything like that, but let me just say there's a few shocks in there, and I was writing away. Please excuse the bird I'm seeing outside here as I'm doing this video, but as I was writing away, I really got emotionally involved with the story once again, and not just the story and the plot and so forth, but it was more about the characters themselves and what they're going through. How is it they will handle various issues and so forth? What do you do when you're in the middle of a chosen fortress and you're thinking, oh my gosh, like how do we actually pull this thing down? And so there's a lot of stuff has been happening in the Whizzbang Chronicles, but there's a lot of unanswered questions as well. And I thought I'd just rattle a few off, such as I think the number one is, who is creativity, intellect, and wisdom? The three sort of super beings. What is the war that's been going for the last 50,000 years between them and this other entity you don't know anything about yet? What's been going on? Like, who are the chosen? Where do they come from? And what are their objectives? Who's Zeklin? Zeklin is up higher in the hierarchy and so forth. What are they going to do about the huge troop ships full of chosen coming from another planet to come back to New Eden to invade New Eden again? So what's going to happen with them? What are the new powers that Whizzbang, Bosk, Pyro, and Elzitro are actually going to come into? Already they've got incredible abilities in telepathy and mental combat and so forth, as well as everything their battle frame gives. But what are those powers? What's actually going to happen there? How are they going to develop further? What other things can they actually get? What's going to happen to Marie and Esther and their daughters on Earth? They're going to come into the story. So there's so many things. There's General Elbin and Frankie and Selphia and Acheron and Gardner and Tiny. I must admit, Tiny, with a guy who's a huge hulking brute of a guy who is one of those lovable sort of characters who's got a cigar in his mouth just about the whole time. What's going to happen to those people? What's going to happen to them? How are they going to fight back against this? Seems to be unbelievable odds. Or the fact that this war is not a war of like one side, like we traditionally have it on Earth, where one side fights against the other side, and they eventually one side wins, or they say sue for peace or something like that. This is a war of complete annihilation. One side will be living and the other side will be dead. So what happens there in a war like that? How does it affect the characters? What do they go through? All those sort of things I think are going to be really important. So I've begun scoping out book 2 already. And I've been thinking about it. I'm also rewriting about the first 20 episodes or so of book 1, and introducing a lot of the concepts I developed later on in the book. But book 2 should be really quite interesting. It's tackling a lot of these different issues, but more important, what happens to the characters. Because I don't know about you, when I read a book, sure, the plot's good, it got to be good and all that sort of stuff, but it's really, do I fall in love with the people? What is it about Whizzbang or Bosk? And Bosk loves a drink and that sort of stuff, loves to have some fun. Or how about Keldar and all these different characters? What is it about them that makes them special? And to me, that's what makes a book good. They're not long books. The thing I've noticed also about many gamers is they don't like reading. I try to keep the episodes quite short so that you can still enjoy the episode without a lot of reading. So if you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, we're going to have a lot of reading and all that sort of stuff, don't worry about it. You'll enjoy it because why? Some of these episodes and everything that I write are things I've actually done in the world of Firefall. Yeah, so there's lots of things is going on in the book, and it doesn't damage any of the lore of Firefall itself. And I did a few tweaks around that and how I managed to get around those issues. But I think the most important thing to understand about this book is that it's real people, like average people who were playing games are now thrust into the reality of what it means to be fighting for their lives. And it's no longer a game. It's no longer a game. But anyway, it's a few things in this video blog. I hope you've enjoyed it, found it useful. Please ask me questions about the story. Please read the story, leave comments in the episodes and that sort of stuff. Don't forget to check out Firefall Tribes. It's fftribes.com. And there's a lot of great people there, and I really, really appreciate and have learned to respect their opinions enormously. Anyway, thanks a lot for that, and see you later. Bye.